You don't find it. I'm not sitting. Okay.
Ma, please, ma, let me just carry the weight for to that minute. Because I overheard somebody say that we that the middle identify all the Zoom view. I said we want to have a meeting.
I told them you need to send you there. We prefer to know them. Because they are supposed to discuss with me if they will take my staff now. I've told the HOD, the person in charge of NHIS, she said that she did not recommend your name. I asked DA, DA says she's not the one. So they're not supposed to remove my staff without telling me. So DA said that same day, if he approved those names, it's because he didn't know that you are with me. They're supposed to consult me.
I think for them to talk to you, since like if you have a meeting, and also for them to speak to you that way.
Don't bother yourself. It's the time. Where's the kid? It's a good. No, it's a good. She didn't give it to her. Tell her to come. I need the key today. Hello, good morning, class. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. You are welcome to the class this morning. So, like I said yesterday, we are going to be rounding up our class today. I will take 1 hour, then the co-lecturer will come in to take the remaining parts. Mhm.
Wow.
Okay, good morning once again. Let's go on with our lectures now. Yes, so like I said earlier, we are going to be rounding up our lectures today. So I will round off from my own side and then hand over to our co-lecturer to take the remaining 1 hour. So basically yesterday we looked at the negative and positive impacts of the penal system on the Nigerian society. And I must commend all the members of the class for your useful contribution. You really participated and you made the class interesting both for yourself and for myself. So today we are going to look at, practically going to discuss one topic, and the comparison, you will just take a look at it in your notes. And what we are discussing today is how the penal system has, affected the social justice in our society. So promoting social justice through penal system in Nigeria, what it takes is more of proposal, suggestion on how, penal system can promote social justice or promote social standards, can help us maintain standards in our system. Okay. All right. So it's more of a way forward. How can, the penal system, yesterday we talked about how it has impacted positively and negatively. Today we are looking at way forward. How can this further promote standards in our society? And one of the way forward is reform the criminal justice system. In the course of our discussion, we agree with me that many people pointed out the lapses that are in our investigation system. Some cried out the fact that the justice system seems to favor the rich more than the poor. And sometimes people also express displeasure over the manner of handling investigation, the impact of corruption, the brutality involved, and how it has affected, negatively. It has impacted the society negatively to a point that some people feel they have preference even for jungle justice than allowing a legal procedure to be carried out, either for fear of not getting justice or not getting justice. So one of the way forward is to strengthen investigation and evidence collection, for people to again believe in the, because without proper investigation, it's possible for you to penalize somebody in error. So the investigation process has to be improved upon, and then interestingly, you can see that we're in an era of ICT as we are exhibiting it here by even having our virtual lectures. So investigation can even be online. There should be advanced technology in storing up, getting information and verifying information, rather than the physical contact and the manhandling that sometimes people get involved into in the course of going through investigation. There should be an improvement to legal representation for all, address corruption and bias within the system. The issue of improvement in legal representation, access to legal representation, we discussed elaborately yesterday. And I think in that area, we can commend the government for the efforts made by establishing some of these bodies. And I can also say that even the private bar has provision in some ways, because we have non-governmental organizations that have had to call together lawyers that do cases on pro bono basis, where they discover that the person that is looking for justice may be indigent. So such provisions are there. You have lawyers alert. You have a number of law organizations that offer services free for people. So it's a matter of trying to really find out. Then you have a wing of female lawyers that you call FIDA, Federation of Female Lawyers. They also take up cases for people who are indigent and cannot afford legal services, and they need such services. So such bodies, as they keep increasing, it also helps, because all of this put together is to help the society have quality investigation. And even if somebody is made to serve punishment, he knows very well that he deserves it. Punishment is not good, but
before you know, maybe they just don't or don't wish to go back for that room again.
okay, it's like somebody's mic is on. So let's identify such a person, and or the admin can help us to mute the person. So are we following? Are we together in the class?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
ma.
Okay, all right. So let's go on. So the issue of corruption is such that sometimes it's difficult to handle it in summary, but we keep, making emphasis on it so that as much as possible, corruption should be dealt with. If that happens, it kind of take away the injustice that we see sometimes people deprive of justice because they either lack money or lack connections. And where such things happen and people get undue punishment for certain things, it does not promote social justice. Social justice can be promoted where the legal system is transparent and everybody can see through it, and is encouraged by exploring the available options to seek their redress. Now, another way of promoting social justice through penal system is address poverty and inequality. And by doing so, there is a call for implementation of social programs to address poverty and unemployment, provide education and job training opportunities, promote community development and social cohesion. Like we mentioned yesterday, some people that are involved in criminal activities did so because of poverty. Some, could not have a source of livelihood, and it led them to get entangled into criminality and becoming a dangerous person for the society. So where some of these issues are addressed, both at the level of government and at the level of even social organizations, it helps people to attach value. The value system itself is improved upon. When people have, attached meaning to life, their value system also changes. But when people in an abject poverty, many a times they tend to see no reason to take life seriously. So it's important that poverty, inequality, inequality, several social opportunities that are available, distribution of opportunities in the society. Where there is inequality, it grieves some members of the society and they can take on certain vices to even retaliate. So it goes around to infect the society negatively. Now, the issue of improving on the prison condition, I think we talked about that. Upgrading of infrastructure and facilities, providing of access to healthcare, education and rehabilitation program, reduce overcrowding and improve living conditions. I think we addressed this. Yeah, there's somebody that entered the meeting without his proper name, and I think the person's mic is on. So you can put off your mic so that you don't disturb the class. So we discussed the condition of prison yesterday. We discussed the conditions of prisons yesterday, and we all agreed that people that are in the correctional centers are living lives that are far below basic standards. And this can be improved upon so that people who are remanded can stay under healthy conditions. And I kept mentioning the fact that while these people are waiting trial or they are even serving J10, they are entitled to certain rights. They also have their rights. So their rights ought not to be taken away from them. Their life quality should not be reduced to a certain level. So it's that we have already discussed again and again. Another way of improving on the penal system so that it will impact the society positively is to focus on rehabilitation. We discussed this during the aims and goals of penal system. Rehabilitation, the attention should be on improving on the lives of these people so that when they reintegrate into the society, they can be better people and they will contribute meaningfully. And by so doing, there is a suggestion for implementing program for skills development, counseling, and therapy. Let me talk on this issue of counseling and therapy. I know that, there are certain people that go through phases, or everybody goes through phases in life. And at various phases, while we, the people who are not specialists, may attribute certain things to misbehavior and want to punish it by all means, people who are like professional counselors may, look at this as if they interact with certain people, they can diagnose the possible cause of certain behaviors. It could be family stress, it could be environmental influence, it could even be a genetic problem. So when some of these issues are identified and these people are helped, they maybe when they leave the prison and they go back to be reintegrated into the society, they live to be better people and their impact on the society is better. So that means that even the penal system itself must have helped to identify some of the major issues that are related with these people in question. And it can help to improve the penal system. It's a major improvement. And some people actually need to go through a psychological therapy. Sometimes we jettison some of these things in our environment because of how we grew up. But these things, as the society is developing, we are getting to see the relevance of things like a psychiatrist, a professional psychiatrist, sometimes having the need to interact with some of these people to have a fair idea of what could be the possible cause of their behavior or what would have led them to do what they did. And they could offer a therapy. They could take them into counseling sessions, and probably some people can really be helped. And after that, they may not even go back into where they were before. So such steps need to be taken in a bid to rehabilitate offenders. We must not only look at one dimension, punishment as in giving certain levels of punishment. Because of where we are coming from, most times we feel, punishment has to be very brutal to teach the victims a lesson. But sometimes counseling, offering of therapies can also really solve deep-seated problems that have been with certain people for a very long time. And on focusing on rehabilitation, our system must encourage restorative justice and victim offender mediation and support reintegration into society upon release. The essence of taking these people to correctional centers is not to keep them there for life. Even life imprisonment, as the name implies, does not mean that the person will stay there forever. This person can at most stay in the correctional center for 21 years. So the whole idea is why the person is there, he should be groomed and prepared in such a way that when he goes back to the society and he reintegrates into the society, he can be a better person and contribute positively on the society. So such occasions should multiply and such opportunities should be made available. Establishment of specialized calls and programs for juveniles. Yes, certainly teenagers, children who are juveniles should not be lumped together with adults. I think this is one of the major challenge of our correctional system, where you see some teenagers who are just turning into 18 years are lumped together with people who are 30-something, 40-something years. And that's why sometimes we hear cases of when people are taken to prison, they come back and they are more hardened. There should be age separation even in correcting or in engaging victims or offenders, because their problems should be dealt with according to their ages too. Teenagers have different ways of reacting or thinking, but where people who have perfected the art of crime are made to live together with these young minds, they can either infect them, affect them negatively, and rather lure them into perfecting acts of crime. So programs for juveniles should be created, and people who are specialized in such areas should be brought in to offer counseling, to offer social support, psychological support, and probably get these ones to be put on programs that will take their minds off the idea of crime. The issue of internet fraud now is taking the center stage. And certainly most of the people that are involved in cyber crime, they are teenagers. When they are caught, everybody assumes that since you have come of a criminal age, you are of age and should be able to face the wrath of the law. Yes, it's agreed, but it could be treated, every case should be treated on its merits, and it will be very helpful if that is done. Now, away from that, addressing gender and juvenile justice, there should be implementation of gender-sensitive programs and facilities, establish specialized course. Okay, we've done that. Strengthen community engagements, encourage community involvement in crime prevention and rehabilitation, foster partnership between law enforcement, NGOs, and community organizations. I think NGOs that are around are helping a great deal in some of these areas, but I must stress at this point that whenever we talk about crime prevention and punishment, everybody's mind quickly go to the established law enforcement agencies like the police, the civil defense, NDLEA, the courts, and all. Yes, it is good. But you also agree with me that, we live in communities where we know ourselves. Now, community engagements can be very useful if it is well organized and recognized and supported where it needs to be supported. For some of us that live in certain communities, you will agree with me that even the vigilante groups that we have, sometimes they're even more effective than the established police system. Because they live in the same environment, they know people that have certain tendencies and probably even know people that are associated with certain antecedents. So when even crime take place, they are on ground and they could have certain information that if the police come, they will need to either collaborate or we need an insider information to be able to address certain issues. And by so doing, even in crime prevention, when communities are well organized and they are properly directed, many a times they are very, very useful in intervening and even rehabilitation. So community engagements should be encouraged, and if I may say, should be formalized and should receive necessary support. There should be a collaboration between the community organizations on crime prevention and rehabilitation with even governments, so that they receive the necessary support they need to, and they have the force of law to an extent by them if they prove to be genuine and have some level of integrity. It will help a great deal, because even when people are sent back to the society from rehabilitation, they go back to these same communities. When people finish serving their jail term and they come back, the first point of call is they go back to their local communities. So the communities can also help in monitoring the progress that has been made by these victims. And where it is shown that obviously these people have not made progress, or they have rather deteriorated, or they have changed, The community organizations should even have a better report because they are living with such. So collaborations can help, even if the communities are not fully in charge of investigation and prevention, at least they can monitor the progress of people who have been reintegrated into the society. And I think traditional institutions can be very helpful at this point if they are sincere, if they are genuine, and if they are doing their work very well. There should be a link, there should be a collaboration, so that at the end of it, yes, this person was punished by either being made to serve a jail term, he has returned to the society, and his progress is being monitored, and reports should be taken as to whether the person has made progress, or if he only went to learn more sophisticated ways of crime. It will be easy to identify, and where necessary, support should be given to such people. Now, discrimination and bias should be addressed. Equal access to justice for all, regardless of gender, ethnicity, or socioeconomic status. Yeah, this is one of our major challenges in the Nigerian society. When you talk about equal access to justice, we will continue to emphasize this, enlighten our people. Even if we have not yet attained a certain level, we make more efforts to do that. Because for there to be equal access to justice, it takes a lot. One of the things that it takes is awareness. I think many people get to know some of the avenues that exist for them to seek redress. Some are living with such opportunities without knowing. Awareness is a major, is a major factor if we must truly access justice. And another thing is the economic factor. Honestly, cases cannot be prosecuted effectively if the persons concerned are not economically empowered. Yes, I discussed interventions that government has made available, but sometimes there are limitations. We know that in the course of prosecuting certain cases, the money is usually involved. The government can assign a lawyer to take on a case for somebody, but there are logistics, there are other things that are involved that sometimes require money. Okay, let me give a practical example. Maybe somebody, they need to go and either procure witnesses. Sometimes you need to pay your witnesses to even come to court, to come and testify, or to go and get certain evidence, in certain places. All of these things need finance. And of a truth, the government does not go all out to make money available for some of these details. So it's important for us to know, so that nobody relaxes and feel that once you are giving a lawyer, then the person is supposed to do everything. You agree with me that even cases that belong to government that are being handled by Ministry of Justice sometimes suffer because of logistics problem, where there is nobody to actively pay for certain things to be done. So when we talk about equal access to justice, yeah, it's attainable, but we are a bit far from it, given some of the few factors that I've mentioned. And literacy, you are unaware, and financial empowerment. So, but one of the ways that can help, one of the ways that can improve on the penal system and its impact on the society is the issue of, unbiased treatments that should be meted out. Yes, opportunities should be made available for people irrespective of their gender, irrespective of where they are coming from, irrespective of who they know, and all of that. Now, data collection and analysis. This will also help in policy making. Now, if there are certain crimes that have become so prevalent, if our system is taking note of data, analyzing, and seeking for solution, it will be good to find out, okay, now, on the face of it, even though I did not take data, I can say that one of the most prevalent crime that is going on in our society at the moment is online fraud, what we popularly call Yahoo Yahoo. So now we should develop a system where statistics of crime is taken and analyzed and sent to our policymakers. What's the cause? What's causing the increase in the online fraud? What's bringing about? And what are the possible ways of solving this problem so that policies can be developed out of it? Now, when things happen and nobody takes note of it, it's very difficult to address such issues realistically. Because, of course, from time to time, the police will invade a certain compound and they say they suspect, police or EFCC will invade a certain compound and say, okay, they suspect that there are online fraudsters that are based here. They'll be arrested, taken, maybe in the morning, in the evening, they are released, they are back, going about. It does not holistically solve the problem. For some of these issues to be corrected and a solution being found in such a way that it will have a lasting effect, data has to be taken. What's the rate of this online crime? What are the ages that are found, mostly accused of this? What are the possible causes? What are the possible preventions? And what can be done? That's a more holistic assessment, and proposals can be made. And if government is interested, they can take up such policies, implement them, and it will be put into use, and it will affect the society positively. So let me pause at the moment. We are now actually discussing proposals and way forward in our punishment system, because if we have an effective punishment system, what we said from the beginning is that it will affect the society positively, and it will make the society a better place to live as students of the society. So now that we are almost coming to an end of the lecture and we are discussing proposals and way forward, I want us to make contributions at this point. Apart from the things we have said, or you can even bring an additional contribution to some of the points that are already made, or you can bring in new suggestions, to what's the way forward. How can we really, really develop the penal system in such a way that it will impact the society positively, beyond just what we have said. So for some of you that have been following the class and have been available, I want to give this room so that we will discuss and make contributions. Yeah, I'm waiting for somebody's hand so that. Any contribution? Hello, is there anybody that wants to make a contribution?
Yes, ma. I want to say something, ma. Hello, ma. Hello, ma.
Okay.
You can go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm there. I'm here. I'm
Okay,
hearing
ma.
you. Go ahead.
I think the most important aspect of the challenges we are having in the issue of area of prosecution of crime in our society is the issue of logistics and sincerity on the part of the prosecutors. Yes, like you rightly said, those people that are working in the Ministry of Justice and those people that are working in prosecution
Hello.
agencies, particularly in prosecution units, made available. Issue of funds for preparation of documents, filing, and other things.
Yes.
Can you hear me, ma?
Uzoma, go ahead.
Yes. So the issue of logistics is a very big challenge to those who are working in prosecution agencies. And again, there's also the issue of sincerity on the part of the prosecutors. Most times, because of influences from certain quarters, they find it difficult to do their due diligence in their jobs. They find it difficult. Some big organs will call. Some people will even try to influence them with material things. And before you know it, when they look at their situations, their economic situations, they may have no option but to bend. And in such situations, it becomes difficult for the right thing to be done. But if they are properly taken care of and proper logistics are provided, of course, I believe many of them who have the passion to do the work will do better than what they are currently doing. That's my contribution, ma. Thank you.
That is great.
Yeah. Okay. That's a very useful contribution. Any other person? I can see John. Are you there? Okay. I don't know why today's class is very scanty. The contribution is very, very apt and very good. Okay, I can see another hand. Go ahead, David. Yes, David, you have the floor. You can speak.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, mates.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
this
good
lecture
morning.
has taught me a lot. At first, I have been thinking, or my thinking has always been that and prisoners and people being corrected. At first, I thought they shouldn't have the fundamental human rights, should be corporal and punishment. But this lecture has taught me a lot. I now understand. Even people in correctional centers, their their the fundamental human rights should be respected. So one thing I will have to say is let the government increase funding for our correctional centers. Funding. Let these facilities be upgraded, because if we go to most of the correctional centers, the funding is poor, the structures are very poor, and even funding on the part of the staffs. And if you can look at correctional center staffs, most of the staffs are not well paid. They are not being catered for well. So it's just in a way, in order to enhance these places, so that when these prisoners are out, they are going to be reintegrated back in the society. So there should be a way they will be well and catered for. So one point I want to bring to the table is more funding for the correctional centers. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. That's a very good contribution too. Now let me stress something. I want to further also make contribution that one of the things that can affect not just the penal system, but impact our society positively is the mindset of we, the members of the society. Yes, David talked about the issue of funding. Uzoma talked about the issue of the something still logistics, which is still about funding and all. But you also agree with me that if the mindset of the members of the society is not even directed correctly, or if we don't make up our minds in the right direction, the more the funding, the more people have avenues to even take these monies away for their personal gain. I personally observed an issue that made me to, as a member of the society, or as a student of the society too, I'm a student of the society too, to realize that when the mindset of a man is wrong, that person's value system degenerates by the day, irrespective of how much he acquires even material wealth. I witnessed an incident in our state here, I think sometime 2012, when our state suffered flood. I witnessed where one of the offices responsible for catering for internally displaced persons, one of the warehouses was where I knew. And I observed that most of the relief materials that were sent either by NGOs, from governments, sometimes at night, you will see staff of these offices coming to just distribute some of these relief materials for themselves. Many times they used to come at night. They will take some of these things, you will see them from, edible items to sometimes other several things, because so many relief materials were stored up in a certain warehouse that I knew. And they would just take these things away to their houses for personal use. That was one of the time, where we had not been thrown into the humanitarian crisis that we have now. So the internally displaced people were mostly the flood victims as at 2012. We had these banditry issues, and we're not so much like this. Now, the question is that is in a way funding and logistics. And people could conveniently convert it. When we had victims of flood everywhere in camps, suffering, and NGOs were coming to intervene. And right now, even if you go to IDP camps, you receive the same reports. There was a day that people even staged a protest, say, bring back our food and our relief materials, from the members of offices that are responsible for this. So when we talk about funding, I agree completely. But it also amazes us that even the same members of staff of the responsible offices, if the mindset is not corrected, is it possible that this funding can be increased, salaries can be increased? The more the salaries are increased, the more the appetite of the members or the staff responsible will enlarge, and they'll be needing more. So apart from the mindset, I also want to say that I blame most of what is happening in our society on enforcement. Our society does not strictly punish people. The punishment we are talking about now, when we talk about penal system, everybody's mind goes to the prisoners. But how about the people that are perpetrating this wickedness that I'm talking about in offices? They are in the same category. Now, if the kind of policies that we witnessed during Buhari's first regime as war against indiscipline and the like, we were not so much of adults then per se, but the things we heard, everybody understood how to do the right thing. People were being sacked from offices for corruption. People lost their jobs. People learned to queue up in the public to carry out duties. And the society was orderly. There was enforcement. Anybody could be punished. I want to believe that this thing has to trickle down from the top. it shouldn't just be narrowed down to people who are in correctional centers. People who are in offices responsible for certain things should also be punished when they fail in their duties. People who are in the classroom, lecturers should be sacked for molesting girls for money and collecting monies from men, from guys, for marks. People who siphon money in offices are in the same way corrupt and criminal, in the same category. It's just that they are not being prosecuted as they should. So as we round off from my own end, I think that for impact to be felt meaningfully, there should be a shift in our mindset. There should be a shift in the value system, because it's very key. If students of the society cannot talk about this kind of a thing, then we are living a lot. We are just setting up a society that nobody will be happy living in. Everybody seems to be keeping quiet. They say, well, if you say anything, they will come after you. Yes, it's true. But we are only degenerated to this level. And if it is not arrested at this level, it could degenerate further. And it will get to a point where there won't be standards. Because my co-lecturer was treating theories of standards and all. The whole idea of social standard is trying to emphasize again that a society is not an animal kingdom, and in some way that there are basic standards, and these standards come from homes, standards are in offices, standards are found in all the places where we represent, and that's a society put together. So if these standards must be maintained, that's why we have to look at the penal system, its impact. And as students of social standard, you must have been taught several other ways. This is just an aspect of it. Trying to maintain these standards, there must be correction. When people err and they are found guilty of their errors, they should be corrected irrespective of who they are. And yesterday we talked about the issue of immunity, and you made very meaningful contributions that why not, revisit the issue of the immunity of even the chief executives in the nation, so that maybe at best you only give them this immunity to a certain level and not in everything, so that they can be tried even while they are in offices on some when they commit certain offenses. And it was a very good contribution, but I remarked that who will pass this law? That was where we all saw that we had a very big challenge in our hands. I can propose, you can propose, but this thing, immunity is law. So this law can only be repealed or amended. And then who will agree to amend this? Is it our legislators who must be loyal to the chief executives? If they try this, will they still return for second term, or will they even complete the first term? So first tenure. So it's like a collective, it's a total connect. Everything seems to be connecting to another, and is leading to a total systems collapse. So I feel that as much as we can, whenever I take this lecture, students ask me very helpless questions. So what do we do? The justice system has failed. The enforcement system has failed. This one has failed. People will be very angry. And the question sometimes I will ask them, how about you at your own level in your own office? Because it also, for bringing the system together, it has to also come from all the angles. It's not only one place. Some of you are chief executives in your private organization. Some of you are directors in offices. You have subordinates under you. How are you able to enforce the standard at that little level? Because even in our civil service offices, you see that some of the staff that are under a certain head of department, some that learn to lobby their way, when an issue come up against them, the boss will look the other way. And that's already been bias, not being strict. So I feel that it's a collective thing, and it has been a collective collapse, and amending it could also be a collective effort. And as much as it is within our abilities, we must contribute in all ways to resuscitate the system, because we are all part of the system. If the system collapses completely, it will affect everybody. And if the system revives and is well, everybody will also be happy. I believe that people that lived under war against indiscipline, they were the people that wanted to vote Buhari by all means, because they were expectant that when he comes again, he may restore that kind of order that they witnessed during his first regime. So that means that society actually appreciates order. I always say it. We are seeming to be relaxing and accepting the decay because we are helpless. But I think that when order is put in place, everybody will be happier for it. You are able to get what is due you. If it's not enough, then you work harder. You do other extra things rather than taking what belongs to another person and depriving that person entirely. I think that if we go this way, it will serve us better. So, like I said, and the last aspect, you will just take a look at it. It's just a comparative analysis of what happens in our own nation. This penal system is not, we are not the first people to practice it. So I penned down a few states like the United States, the United Kingdom, South Africa, Canada, then Australia. We looked at some key differences, what's obtainable elsewhere, what we have not yet got, and the like, just so we can also have a comparative picture of what's obtainable in other places. So thank you so much. I want to hand you over to the co-lecturer to continue from here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Dr.
I've
Yes.
learned so much. I've learned so much from your lectures. God bless you. Hello.
Thank you. Thank you. I also did so when I. Yes, I can hear you. I hope every other person is here too.
And I want to appreciate you once again.
Yes.
Yeah. This issue that you raised, we have to practice it. Like, and those players that a good coach will reserve on the bench. He will watch how the match is going and introduce these players with a particular target. So the social standards that were in
Your network is quite bad. Yeah, it appears his network is not strong. Maybe we give him a little time to observe. Okay, while we wait for our co-lecturer, I don't know, somebody's hand has been up here. Yunusa, you wanted to say something?
No, ma.
Okay, it's like, Lucy, are you in class today at all? Hello? Is Lucy present in the class today?
Yes, she's present.
No, why are you answering for her? It's indicated that she's present, but I'm not hearing her voice and she always contributes. That's why I'm asking.
I'm present, ma. I'm present.
Okay, so okay, all right. I just wanted to be sure that you are present. Okay, so I don't know, it appears the co-lecturers network it's not so good. But I suggest we just hang on and wait for him. We hang on and wait for him.
I won't catch you now. Thank you. Thank you. I'll go tire with this boot matter.
Oh, wow. This network is not at all. Okay, it appears he's back. So
Hello, sorry.
yes, Dr. Godwin, you are back, right? Yes, we're waiting for you.
Lost connection with you. We have several theories that explain the reason why punishment. Note that Dr. National had already told us that the intention or the objective of punishment is not just Hello.
Hello, sir. We are with you, sir.
I'm trying. The intention of the penal system to reform or to rehabilitate the offender and make him a better person for the society. So we have some theories that explain why punishment. One of the theories is a deterrence theory. We have so many of them. I can expose you to the ones that time would permit us to do so. Yeah. So we have the deterrence theory. The deterrence theory is coming from the word deter, to deter. That is to discourage or stop somebody from doing something. So this theory is based on the idea that punishment can prevent crimes by making potential offenders aware of the consequences of their action. Are you following me? Hello?
We can't hear you, sir. We cannot hear you.
Hello? Somebody there? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, though network is breaking, sir.
You can't hear me.
And network is breaking.
Can hear now. Initially, we have not been getting you because of the network, but now we can hear you, sir.
The theory is based on the idea that punishment can prevent crime by making potential offenders aware of the consequences of their actions. Did you get me to this point?
Not at all, sir. We didn't get you, sir.
Hello?
Sir, we are getting you, but the network is breaking.
Okay, you can
It's
hear me now.
breaking. The
The
network is
last
not
one,
good at all.
the last one we heard is deterrent theory. That's what the last thing we heard, sir.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello. Yes, I can hear you, sir.
I can hear you now, sir.
You can hear me now.
Yes, can hear you.
We stopped at
Yes, sir.
deterrence and we will still move a stable network. I was saying that deterrence theory is based on the idea that punishment can prevent crimes. Do you agree? Hello?
Please, and come again, sir.
I said that deterrence theory is based on the idea that punishment can prevent crimes by making potential offenders and who are aware of the consequences to stay away from committing such crimes. Can that be true?
Yes, sir. It's true, sir.
Yes,
True,
sir. It's
sir.
very true.
Yes.
It's very true. Very true.
Okay, good. So the theory assumes that individuals are rational and they can weigh the good and the bad of any action they are going to embark on and decide to do or decide not to do. Is that also true?
It's true, sir. It's true, sir.
All right. They need me to relocate again. Now that I'm certain that you can hear me. So deterrence theory
Yes, sir, we
assumes
are
that
hearing you.
individuals are rational and they are rational beings, and we weigh the potential cost and benefits of their actions. They will see that those actions that are costly, the actions that can cost them their rights, cost them their freedom, or inflict pain on them, they will avoid it. They can go ahead and do those things that can bring benefits. Those of you that have sociological background, you'll be thinking of social exchange theory, where any action in the society is considered as a kind of transaction. Certain transactions that can give you profit, you embark on them. And such relationships or actions that can cost you, you avoid it. So it is the same of deterrence theory that they think that generally those who may Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can anybody?
The network is seriously breaking, sir. We hear you, it will go off. We hear you, it will go off. The audio quality is not constant. It's very, very poor.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Is it better now?
Yes, sir, it's better now, sir.
I'm trying to switch places and networks.
At least we can hear you now, sir.
So I was saying that the deterrence theory weigh the potential cost and benefits of their own actions and decide to choose appropriately. So we have two types of deterrence. Deterrence, which aims at preventing from committing, and we equally have general deterrence, which aim at preventing others from committing a similar crime. Are you there? Hello? Hello?
Yes,
We are
sir. We
hearing
are
you,
with
sir.
you.
We are
Hello,
hearing
sir.
you.
I'm having network issues.
That is the same thing that
So
we're
I'll be
having, sir.
asking frequently so that if you are answering me, I will know that yes, I'm still connected. So we have two, I said that
We
we
are
have
hearing you this time, sir.
types of deterrence. The individual deterrence, where the punishment dealing with the individual, that is deterring him or stopping him or discouraging him from committing a particular crime. I mean, committing the crime that he has committed before again. That is, an individual who has committed a crime is discouraged from further committing that crime. We'll call that one personal or individual specific deterrence or individual deterrence. Then we have the general one, which aims at preventing others from committing similar crimes. In as much as this sounds good, you also agreed with me that yes, when you punish even your children, you punish a child for maybe stealing meat from the soup, that particular child is likely not to steal meat again, and other children who witness the punishment, that punishment may discourage them from committing that act. In as much as it's true, it has some shortcomings, we still have criticisms about this theory. One of them is the issue of individual difference. We have individual differences. Some people may, or some individuals may be more prone to impulsive behavior. and may not be deterred by punishment, while some will be deterred. Did you get the point?
Yes, sir.
It's not everybody that is same. Some people, if you punish them once, they will never repeat that thing again. Once they discover that this thing is not correct, they will never repeat it. But some people, just like Dr. Naswem said, that it's like some people are naturally hardened. Even if you punish them, that punishment may not deter them. They will repeat the same act. I wonder, I keep wondering, a particular criminal or an individual will be beaten up severally for just a single crime or a particular crime, let's say theft. Each time this person steals, the whole community will gather and beat the person. But that will not discourage the person from stealing. Why? Maybe that act has become psychological or is pathological. We have certain theories of crime that say that crime is natural, it's biological. One is born with crime. And there are certain people that are born criminals. Whether you like it or not, they will steal. So when you look at deterrence as a theory, trying to explain why people are punished and reasons why people are punished, you see that actually, when people are punished, that punishment deters them from doing or committing that crime further. But there are some people that even when they are punished, they will still go back to that crime and commit it again. Another criticism is that social and environmental factors like poverty, lack of opportunities, and social norms can influence an individual's likelihood of committing a crime. Somebody was making a joke or told me that one young man who was known for stealing goods in the community. Are you with me?
Yes,
Hello?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
People
sir.
the community keep punishing this young man for stealing goods. So at a point, the young man said that he has repented. But there was a day that a member of the community tied goat close to his house. And this goat cut from the rope and was just loitering around him. So he said that for the fact that he has stopped stealing goats does not mean people should leave their goats to be just roaming around him. So did he stop? Quite okay. Did the punishment of the society deter this young man from stealing goats? He still had the intention. What actually was the matter was the issue of opportunity. Maybe opportunities were blocked. But this time around, he saw an opportunity and was saying that for the fact that he has stopped stealing goat does not mean people should leave their goats to be moving around him anyhow. I think it sounds funny. So the environment and other social factors can make deterrence as a theory ineffective. If somebody is poor and the person steals food as a result of that poverty, you know, some ladies engage in prostitution and other illegal activities and they blame it on poverty. And if that poverty is not treated, if the poverty aspect is not handled, even if you punish these people, they will have no option than to go back to it again. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So We'll move to another theory, except if you have a question to ask me. If you don't have, I will ask you why deterrence as a way of stopping people from committing crime is not effective across our states. Especially those who steal motorbikes. I've been experiencing jungle justice going on against them. The moment these Okada boys see them or they catch them, they will set them ablaze. Yet, stealing on motorbikes have not stopped. Why? Can you explain to me
like
why?
You said, sir. Like you said, sir, the root cause of the problem is not yet addressed. You said something about poverty. Like there's one popular saying that says, "A hungry man is an angry man." Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. And somebody who is hungry, it takes a very strong personal will for him not to do something that is bad, particularly when there's no way out of that. There's no way for him to take care of that hunger at that moment. You get it? So where the root cause of the challenge, the deviant behavior is not addressed, it is difficult for the person to stop. It is difficult for the person to be deterred, irrespective of the fact that there are punishments attached to defaulters. It's difficult for the person to stop defaulting. Whenever opportunity comes, he will still go back to it. Even though he may confess, he may say he has stopped it, but once there's an opportunity, there's every tendency, every likelihood that he will still go back to that deviant behavior. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. So we are agreeing that deterrence as a theory has failed to look at reasons why people commit crimes. It's just looking at the action. If the root cause of the crime or the offense is not addressed, punishing them alone will not serve the purpose. It is possible that, yes, it is true that there are some people, when they are punished for doing a particular thing or committing a particular offense, they will stop. They will not repeat it again. And others who witness that kind of punishment, they will also stay away from that kind of act. But if the root cause is not addressed, there's likelihood that when opportunity avails itself, these offenders will still go back. Or some people who initially decided not to commit that offense may likely go back to committing the offense if the root cause of that offense is not addressed. Just like a child that is hungry, you refuse to give the child food, but you prepare cane for beating him or her when she steals food. So at a point, she will become used to that cane. See, to die of hunger and to suffer beating, which one is better? I would prefer to be beaten. Even if you beat me, I will know very well that I've eaten my food, though. You just beat the body. And at a point, that stroke of cane will not even mean anything to the child again. This applies to other offenses as well. So we'll try as much as possible to see the other aspect of the offense. Why the offense? Before we jump into punishing the offense. If we don't ask why the offense and we just jump into punishing the offense, the punishment may not really be effective as we expected. So we are moving to rehabilitation theory. The rehabilitation theory focuses on reforming offenders and preparing them for reintegration into the society. I say it focuses on reforming offenders and preparing them for reintegration, reuniting them into the society. They're not just doing this aimlessly. The theory is saying is trying to say that the goal of rehabilitation actually is to address underlying issues that contribute to people's behavior, that is offenders' behavior, such as addiction or mental health problems, and provide them with skills and support to lead lawful lives. That is the interest of the rehabilitation theory. So rehabilitation programs such as counseling, such as education and training and job training, life skills acquisition can be put together to reform an individual who is an offender. And this reformation is aimed at making the individual a new person so that the person can be reunited or reintegrated into the society, and the person can be of use to the society again. You know, when we were young, I used to hear these concepts or words like condemned criminal. Did you also hear that?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Condemned criminal. So at what point can we say that somebody is a condemned criminal?
Sorry, I have an election. Can you come back? Is it possible?
When they are sentenced to death or life imprisonment.
Oh, okay.
Just 15 minutes.
Fine. This rehabilitation theory is saying that there's no need condemning somebody to death. There is tendencies, there are possibilities that somebody who has been condemned can be reformed. If the person is reformed, the person can become a better member of the society. This person will help to preach righteousness, so to say. The person will tell others what the society likes and what the society frowns at. The person will lead the vanguard of changing other offenders. I came across one young man, looking at him alone, so scary. So I dared to ask him his background. He told me that he was a very notorious cultist. They wanted to go and scatter one Christian program. When they got there, God caught him with all his magical powers and all that they believed that they could do. He couldn't do that worse. He became a very helpless, very weak person and surrendered to the will of God. That is when he accepted Christ as his personal Lord and Savior. And all that he has been doing now is to go around and talk to these young people that are into cultism, and take them to his own rehabilitation home. He has built a rehabilitation home where he will take them and make sure that he trains them to become better people and to shun cultism and reintegrate them into the society. They are no longer in the secret society, they will be in the open society. Rehabilitation theory believes that if this is done well, if rehabilitation is done well, the people who were offenders before, those criminals that were condemned, can be reformed, can be trained, and can be reunited or reintegrated into the society. And they will become people that can preach righteousness. They can tell others what the society likes and what the society dislikes. They will tell others the do's and the don'ts of the society. So the rehabilitation theory assumes that offenders can change and that providing them with support and resources can reduce recidivism. I mean, recidivism, the act of going back to the offense after you have been corrected. But this theory has some shortcomings. Hello? Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we are with you, sir.
The theory has some shortcomings. The first shortcoming or critique is on the ground of effectiveness. How effective is these rehabilitation programs? We notice that these rehabilitation programs of recent have been going on. But there are many people that they will go to rehabilitation centers or correction centers and come back worse. They will come back worse. Why? So it's as if the effectiveness of this program depends on the individual per se, the individual in question. There are some people that, even as we are in the class here, some people just log in and they left. They are doing some other things, but if you check their attendance, they are still, their names are on the attendance, but they are not in this class. The same thing may occur in these correction centers where rehabilitation programs are given. Not every offender or not every inmate may be willing to take this rehabilitation program serious. And as such, the program may not be effective on such offenders. Therefore, they will come back the same way or even worse than the way they left the society. So they will come back worse. Another shortcoming is rehabilitation is resource intensive. So most of these rehabilitation programs can require more resources and may not be feasible in all contexts. What about funding? Can funding be a challenge here too? Hello?
Yes, sir. Funding can
Yes,
be
sir.
a
Yes, sir.
challenge.
Okay, funding
Yes, sir.
too
Of
can
course,
be a challenge.
funding is always, yes.
These things,
Funding
yes.
will always be a challenge because even as the country is now, federal government never gets enough money. The same thing with state governments. Because there are so many areas that require funds. It's not only this rehabilitation area. There are so many other areas that require funding, and the resources that are coming to the federal government may not be enough for them to be able to do all these things all around. But if it is properly programmed, properly arranged, it can be in phases. And if they continue consistently, with time, they may be able to meet up. But as it is for now, funding is a very big challenge, a very big problem. Not only funding, even the issue of logistics, the venue, the environment, the mobilities that are required, the staff that are required to rehabilitate these people, and the consumables they require for all these things. All these things are product of funds. And if these funds are not enough, if they are not enough, it will be difficult for them to be able to meet up. So funding is a very big problem. Thank you, sir.
Okay. That is good. What are commitment on the part of the rehabilitators, the people giving the programs, the correctional officers?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes,
that one too is there's also a problem because from what I have seen so far, sir, many of them do not go through the requisite training programs, which they ordinarily supposed to undertake before they come into the system. The training programs are always, most times, on crash basis. All these things are maybe because of issue of corruption, maybe because of lack of enough logistics, enough facilities, and all that. And we have this issue of training and retraining. Ordinarily, they're supposed to be going for training at intervals. But sometimes you can see somebody for a whole 5 years, a whole 7 years, a whole 10 years, no form of training. Just office work, office work, office work, office work. That kind of person will find it difficult to develop. Thank you.
Okay, since our time is gone, we'll move on and we'll stop where we are able to stop. But I will share the material with you later. I will give you more materials. I will expose you to more materials on this. We have another theory that I want us to look at it. It is called the retribution theory. Retribution theory. The retribution theory emphasizes punishing offenders for their crimes based on the principle of just deserts. And the goal of this theory is to hold individuals accountable for their actions and provide justice for victims. If you have offended somebody, maybe by removing his computer or laptop from the office, justice should be done to the person and the offender should be punished. Did you get me? So the rehabilitation theory assumes that punishment should be proportionate to the severity of the crime, and that offenders deserve to be punished for their wrongdoing. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That punishment should be proportionate to the crime that somebody or the offense that somebody has committed. And that offenders deserve to be punished by all means for their wrongdoings. I think this is what most parents use. And the Bible too maybe gives the backing that spare the care and spoil the child. That is what you people say, but the Bible it says that if you withhold the rod, then the child will spoil. That foolishness lies in the belly of the fool, but the rod of correction removes it. So those who are proponents of this theory are saying that everybody that commits an offense, even late coming to lectures, deserves a punishment. And if that person is not punished, you'll be doing harm to the society. If you want to do society good, punish every offense that an offender commits. And let that punishment be proportionate to the offense that the person has committed. This theory has some critics. Number one, this theory can lead to a punitive approach than prioritizing rehabilitation and restorative justice. You didn't get me. I say the retributory theory can lead to a punitive approach that will prioritize punishment over rehabilitation and restorative justice. The other theory, or the second theory we discussed was emphasizing rehabilitation, right? Restoring people back to the society after correcting, after changing them. But this one is a direct opposite of that one. This one is emphasizing punishment as punishment. It's not aiming at rehabilitating anybody. It's not aiming at reforming. But the theory believes that punishment can stop people from doing or committing offense. So any punishment that any offense that somebody commits, the person should be punished for the offense. And by so doing, the society will get rid of offenders, or offenders will not be in the society again, is the assumption. Another shortcoming of this theory is that the emphasis on punishment can contribute to mass incarceration and perpetuate cycles of violence. There is no room for rehabilitation, so the theory is saying just punish. When somebody does something wrong, let that offense not just go unpunished. Let the offense be punished. And when you are punishing the offense, let the punishment be equal to the gravity of the offense committed. It creates no room for rehabilitation. Today, anybody that is an offender today, the theory looks at you as a perpetual offender. Does not think of you coming back or repenting. The theory has no room for repentance. So the aim of the penal system, if based on this theory alone, will be defeated. Do you see what I'm saying? Should I move on? Or there's any reaction from the class? Hello?
You can move
Hello,
on,
sir.
Okay, we are still
we can
together,
hear
huh?
Yes, we are together.
Where is David?
Yes, sir. I'm with you,
David,
sir.
David,
Yes.
you know that bonus marks we are waiting for you, ba?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
And
Thank you very much.
I'm monitoring your participation closely so that if it is up to awarding it, we can award.
Okay, sir.
We too, we are waiting, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you are waiting.
Yes, sir. What is good for the geese is good for the gander, sir. Thank you, sir.
That is good. And the next theory is that of incapacitation. We also have incapacitation theory to incapacitate. The incapacitation theory. Incapacitation theory aims at protecting society by removing offenders from the community completely. The goal of this theory is to prevent further crimes by confining or restraining individuals who have committed serious offenses. That's the reason why prisons were built. I think the prisons were built according to this theory, that if anybody commits a crime, and that crime is serious, if the offense is a serious offense, there is no need for that person living or staying in the society again. Kindly remove the person from the community and prevent the person from coming back to the community so that further crimes of that nature will not be committed again. And also, if you leave such a person to continue staying in the community, this saying, popular saying that bad acts corrupt good behaviors may take place. That offender may corrupt others. And there may be tendencies of some other people also indulging into that act on the ground that he committed, but nothing happened to him. So he too or she too can commit. The theory assumes that offenders pose a significant risk to public safety and that confinement is very necessary to protect the society from such actions. The theory is criticized by so many people. Number one, the theory overemphasizes incarceration, particularly for non-violent offenders. It is not every offense that warrants removing the offender completely from the community. Don't you think so? Is it every offense that warrants removing that offender completely from the community?
No, no.
Okay. And number two, incapacitation may not be an effective long-term solution, as offenders may still pose a risk to public safety upon release, except if you keep them there permanent. If you don't keep them permanently there, they may likely come back and they will pose a risk to the society again. I think our time is up. Do we still have time? Hello?
It's just 1 minute after 12, sir.
But I think our meeting is supposed to stop by 12.
Yes, sir.
We are supposed to have break between 12 and 1. Then we'll start the second round from 1 to 2. That's how the timetable is.
Okay. Will you be available for the second round?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay. If that is the case, I will give you a break now. If anybody has a concern or a question, let the person ask, so that by 1 o'clock when we come back, we'll be able to complete that. And if there are some issues that we can look at them, we'll look.
Sir, my hand is up. Oh.
Yes, I accept it. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma.
On the first day of lecture, a lot of us missed your lecture, sir.
Why?
Because we were told that there was no lecture going to hold that day.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Gosh.
So we have
Sorry.
discussed with Dr. Naswem possibility of your helping us so that you help us go over, you know, that day's lecture for those of us that missed, because I know that most people were not there.
Lucy, it means you have not been going to your own group chat, because the lecture that was scheduled that time, they say it was not going to be possible, but later the course rep posted a message on the platform and even chat on that group platform. So if
Hello.
I'm hearing you, sir.
Okay, Lucy, if time permits, we have room. We're supposed to have room for revision.
Okay, sir.
So, but have you joined the WhatsApp group?
Yes, sir.
I've shared the slides there, and I will also be interacting with you from time to time on that WhatsApp group. You know, this one is Zoom. A meeting must be scheduled. But that one, even if there is no meeting, you can drop your concern on that WhatsApp group, and if it is possible to address. The meeting was also recorded. So if you, I think if you meet the ICT man, the extracts will be shared with you.
Thank you very much, sir.
I will also avail myself.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Let's give David a chance. David too is putting up his hand. David, can you go ahead?
Okay. And good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon,
David. So due to the last theory we discussed, we are just discussing the in the capacitation theory. Sir.
Yes,
due to this theory, can we say jungle justice is good? do you personally support jungle justice?
What is jungle justice?
Jungle justice is when somebody commits a crime, and instead of trying him at a competent court of law, our area boys do jungle justice, setting that person ablaze and finishing him once and for all. For people like me that have been in businesses for some time, that have been badly affected, and sometimes that is due to fraudster, criminals. So from my heart, and personally, sometimes I deal to this jungle justice than taking somebody to court. So I'm trying to look at this last theory, this incapacitation theory, that will it be best jungle justice to be in our constitution?
No,
Or
the
do
theory
you
is not
support it?
supporting. The theory is not supporting jungle justice, neither am I supporting jungle justice. The theory says if somebody is found guilty of an offense,
Yes,
it
sir.
is assumed that the person must have been tried in the competent court and the person told by the community. You know, it is not every offense that can be tried in the court of law. We have informal laws where the society has some norms. And you might have heard of deposing somebody or deporting.
Yes. Yes, sir.
When the community can send somebody on exile, that because of this offense you have committed, or you have committed a certain sacrilege, we are sending you away from our community. We don't want you to continue staying with us. Sometimes such deported persons, they come back later when they might have changed. And even the incapacitation theory is saying, keep the people that are serious offenders in a place where you can refine them. Just like you have a mad lion or a wounded lion or a mad dog. So if you have a dog that is aggressive, what do you need to do to that dog?
You cage the dog.
You cage the dog or you chain it.
You chain
if you
it
don't
in
chain
a
it and this dog hurts somebody, who is going to be responsible for the treatment? The owner of the dog.
Of the dog.
So the incapacitation theory is saying that communities have the right, societies like Nigeria, they have the right to find a place where they can confine offenders. Those who commit serious offenses, that they don't need to live with people again. These people have turned to a threat to human existence. Confine them in a place and let them stay there for a long time until, if they change, they will come back. If they don't change, let them remain there. And I believe that it is out of this kind of theories that in our constitution we have life imprisonment. Do you notice that we have life imprisonment as a term?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Such a person is an offender that has risk, that can cause or can inflict serious risk on the society. So the society has judged that, okay, the person should stay in confinement for life. But it's not saying that there should be jungle justice. Jungle justice is where people decide to take laws into their hands, to pay teeth for teeth. I mean, tooth for tooth, and eye for eye. In most cases, they don't judge these people, they don't try them, and they don't have a proof that this person is the actual offender. I gave an example in our last meeting. When I had meeting with you, I gave an example of a young man who was labeled as a criminal in the community.
and in a neighborhood. So he entered into one woman's shop. This woman kept money on the counter. Her daughter saw the money kept carelessly and kept the money. She removed the money and kept in a safer place. But this young man came in to buy maybe biscuits. And when the woman came out, she couldn't see her money and grabbed the young man and raised alarm that she kept money here. And the young man was the person that entered, and her money disappeared. The community, knowing the young man for being a thief before, did not wait to judge to ascertain whether the young man was the person that carried the money. The next thing was to bring petrol and tire. They set the young man ablaze. They didn't give him room to defend himself. As the young man was about to give out his ghost, he told them that even though he had been a thief in the past, this case, he's innocent, he didn't steal anything. God will vindicate him. The young lady came back from the market and saw people gathered. And when she asked what happened, they said that that young man, the unfortunate poor boy, stole her mother's money, the money that she kept on the counter. That's why they set him ablaze. The young lady broke into tears that she was the one that removed the money and kept in a safer place. It wasn't the young man. What will you do to this young man again? Could you bring his life back? Hello?
No.
Is it possible to bring him back to life?
No.
No, sir.
Was he guilty or not guilty?
He was not guilty at this time, but he has been stealing before. But he was a thief before.
He was a thief before. That is a label. But he might have changed.
For somebody to be a thief before does not make him a thief always.
Does the Constitution say that if somebody was a thief before, such a person should be punished always, even if he doesn't commit the crime? You can only be punished for the crime that you have committed. But jungle justice do not give room for this. That's why I can never support jungle justice. And I believe that some of you support jungle justice simply because of the weakness of the law enforcement agents to, adjudicate a case quickly and punish the offender according to the gravity of the offense that the offender commits. Sometimes when you hand them over to police will just collect money and let them alone. Sometimes when you take them to court, the people involved in judging the case, if you are not, you don't have money, it may end up just dying a natural death. So when some young people who are strong enough see all these shortcomings of the judicial system, they decide to just do their own justice and move away. And this kind of justice coming from the young people is called jungle justice. So it's weakness of the judicial system, our own judicial system, that makes people feel jungle justice is the best. But it's not. It's not constitutional. And the society too does not promote it. The society values every member, every of her members. But if there are some people who are not, who are deviants, who deviates from the norms of the society has a way of dealing with them with the hope that they will change. So the idea of punishment is not to terminate the person's life, it's to better the person's life. Always have this at the back of your mind that is the goal of the the penal system. Changing the offender to become a good person. Not just not terminating the life of the offender. Thank you. Have a nice break, except if there is any issue. Is there any issue?
No issue, sir.
We are coming back at
Okay.
1.
Okay, thank you very much. Enjoy yourselves.
Thank you very much, sir.
And bye for now.
Admin, please help us end the lecture so that we can rest more.